Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In our last class, we discussed about the current density and the continuity equation. In today's class, we will discuss about the Poisson's and Laplace's equations. We will derive these equations. But before the derivation, here the question arises that why do we need to derive the Poisson's and Laplace's equations? What is the purpose of these equations? So remember that Poisson's and Laplace's equations is a powerful tool for the electric potential, because we have some cases where the charge density, where the volume charge density is not known in advance. So we cannot determine the electric field intensity. So Poisson's and Laplace's equation can be used to determine the electric potential, and from the electric potential we can determine the electric field intensity, because in electrostatics our main objective is to determine the electric field intensity, because if the electric field intensity is known, we can predict and we can solve any type of problem. So let's discuss about the derivation of Poisson's and Laplace's equations. We can derive the Poisson's and Laplace's equation from the point form of Gauss's law. So obtaining the Poisson's equation is exceedingly simple. From the point form of Gauss's law, we know that the divergence of the electric flux density is equal to the volume charge density. According to the point form of Gauss's law, the divergence of D is equal to rho V. We also know that D is equal to epsilon naught or epsilon E. Similarly, electric field intensity is the negative gradient of electric potential. So we can put epsilon E in terms of D, and we know that E is the negative gradient of electric potential. So by substitution we have divergence of D is equal to divergence of epsilon E, and that will be equal to minus the divergence of the gradient of V, and that is equal to the volume charge density. So we substituted epsilon E at D, and we know that E is equal to the negative gradient of electric potential. So the divergence of D is equal to the divergence of epsilon times E, and that is equal to the negative of the divergence of epsilon times the gradient of E, and that is equal to the volume charge density. Now epsilon is constant, so we can take it out. So our result will be the divergence of the gradient of the electric potential is equal to the negative of the volume charge density divided by the epsilon for a homogeneous region in which epsilon is constant. So this is actually the Poisson's equation. The Poisson's equation is actually the divergence of the gradient of electric potential, and that is equal to the negative of volume charge density by epsilon, and that is for a homogeneous region in which epsilon is constant. Equation 4 is the Poisson's equation, but the double del operation, this is actually the double del operation, must be interpreted and expanded at least in Cartesian coordinates before the equation can be useful. So in Cartesian coordinates we know that the divergence of a vector field A is equal to partial by partial x of ax plus partial by partial y of ay plus partial by partial z of az. And we also know that the gradient of electric potential or the gradient of a scalar field V is equal to partial by partial x of V into ax plus partial by partial V of ay into ay plus partial by partial V of partial by partial z of V into az. So the gradient of a scalar field actually results in a vector field. Similarly, the divergence of a vector field actually results in a scalar quantity. So we can substitute del or Del V are the gradient of a scalar field in place of A. So therefore, the divergence of the gradient of V will be equal to partial by partial x of this term, because we substitute del V in place of A. It means that in place of AX we will put this term, in place of AY we will put this term, and in place of AZ we will put this term. So our result will be partial square of V by partial x square plus partial square V by partial y square plus partial square V by partial z square. And this is actually the double del, because divergence of gradient of V results in del square of V. Del square of V is also called the Laplacian of V. So the divergence of the gradient of V is equal to partial by partial x of this term, because this term will be put in place of AX. Similarly, AY is replaced by this term and AZ is replaced by this term, because in place of the vector field A we will place del V. So del dot del V will result in this term. Usually the operation del dot del is abbreviated del square and pronounced del square, a good reminder of the second order partial derivatives appearing in 5. And we have del square V is equal to del square V by del x square, del square V by del y square plus del square V by del z square, and that is equal to the negative of volume charge density by epsilon in Cartesian coordinates. Now, if the volume charge density is 0, like in case of conductors, the volume charge density never remains constant, it changes. So if the volume charge density is 0, indicating the 0 volume charge density, but allowing point charges, line charge and surface charge density to exist at singular locations as sources of the field. So del square V will be equal to 0 because the volume charge density is 0. So del square V will be equal to 0, and this equation is actually the Laplace's equation. So we have the Poisson's equation and we have the Laplace's equation. We can determine Laplace's equation from the Poisson's equation if the volume charge density is 0. So in this case, the del square operation is called the Laplacian of V. Del square operation is called the Laplacian of V. So in Cartesian coordinates, Laplace's equation is del square of V is equal to partial square V by partial x square plus partial square V by partial y square plus partial square V by partial z square, and that is equal to 0. So this equation is actually represented in Cartesian coordinate system. Similarly, we can also represent this equation in cylindrical and spherical coordinate system by expressing the gradient and divergence in spherical and cylindrical coordinate system. If we want to express this equation or the Laplace's equation in cylindrical and spherical coordinates, so we have to express the gradient and the divergence in cylindrical and spherical coordinates. So we can also, it is also shown here, and the form del square in cylindrical and spherical coordinates may be obtained by using the expressions for divergence and gradient already obtained in those coordinate systems. For reference, the Laplacian in cylindrical coordinates is del square V is equal to this thing, which is expressed in cylindrical coordinate system, and in spherical coordinates the Laplacian is represented by this equation. So these are actually the representation of Laplace's equation in Cartesian coordinate system, cylindrical coordinate system and spherical coordinate system. So these were actually the derivations of Poisson's and Laplace's equation. These equations may be expanded by taking the indicated partial derivatives, but it is usually more helpful to have them in the forms given above. Furthermore, it is much easier to expand them later if necessary than it is to put the broken pieces back together again. So we can use these equations directly to find the potential. Because Poisson's and Laplace's equations is a powerful tool for the electric potential, and once we know about the electric potential, we can easily find the electric field intensity, because the electric field intensity is the negative gradient of electric potential. So Poisson's and Laplace's equation is a powerful tool for the electric potential. If you have any question, you can ask. Thank you.